Assalamu alaikum everyone. Hope you're well. Today we're going to explore the Buriganga River, known in Bengali as Buriganga Nodi, and Sadarghat launch terminal in Old Dhaka or Puran Dhaka, south of the capital. Buriganga was once the lifeline of Dhaka. It's a small river, only 27 kilometers long, and passes through south and west of Dhaka city. The average width is 400 meters and the average depth is 10 meters. Buriganga Nodi originates from Dalweshwari River at Kalathia and joins with Turak River at Kamrangirchar. Downstream, it rejoins with the Daleshwari at Munchiganj and flows into the mighty Meghna Nodi. In olden days, a course of the Ganges River, or Podda Nodi as it's known in Bangladesh, used to reach the Bay of Bengal through the Dalweshwari River before it gradually changed to its present course, losing its link to the main channel. Hence the name Buriganga, which means old Ganges. Buri means old and Ganga means Ganges. Sadarghat is the river port for Dhaka. You can get here using a tuk-tuk or CNG as they call it here in Bangladesh. You can also get any Sadarghat bound bus if you're far away. Just remember, the public transports in Bangladesh have to cater for everyone, regardless of how rich or poor they are. So the standard can vary. You can also get a rickshaw or tempo if you're short distance away. Accompanied by my nephew Joinul Islam and cousin Imon Qureshi, we caught a CNG and headed down south to Puran Dhaka. But first, we have to go through the madness that is Dhaka traffic. The CNGs in Dhaka have grid-shaped doors to stop any passengers putting their head or hand out and getting them chopped off by oncoming traffic. It also helps prevent pickpocketers looking to snatch your mobile or money back. Alternating between short bursts and jerks, our driver coolly navigated through the roads. Puran Dhaka is organized chaos. Traffic, people, and shops take up every inch of space. Electric wires are hanging out everywhere and there's non-stop beeping. It's overwhelming, but your senses are hooked, and that's its unique charm. Somehow, through Allah's mercy, it all works.
Basically pay us if you want to get in this area, and that's just the tickets. So the next car stops in, you can turn around and say I've paid you, mate.
গাড়ি না সাতপুরি গাড়ি জি সাতপুরি গাড়ি না বরিশালের গাড়ি আলি ওয়া আলা
Alright, how did it go? It's ready. You can write it in there. Can I write it in there? It's a Hindu area as well. A lot of Hindus here. The opportunity to squeeze through, and that's why we have the same mentality when we go to Biman Airport, from the airport, and even in takeaways and restaurants. That let's just chance it, you know. There's only Biman plane manage like they know it's 7 kg, but they still put like 12, 13 kg. Yeah, and they just think that this attitude. Let's just survival quick, get an opportunity, look after yourself, everything.
In the main entrance of Sadarghat launch terminal, you have to buy a ticket to enter. These cost 10 taka per person, which is the equivalent to 7 pence in Britain.
Thank you, भैया. Go, Journal. Do the honors. Welcome to Sadarghat Port. Parasite.
Sadarghat is one of the busiest ferry terminals in the world, connecting Dhaka to the rest of Bangladesh, especially southern Bangladesh. Hundreds of vessels arrive and depart from here daily, and they come in all sizes and purpose, from three-tiered passenger ferries to cargo ships, rowboats, and small wooden dinghies known as Noukas in Bengali. Millions of cargo and passengers pass through here every year. Shodor means city, while Ghat means wharf, so Sadarghat means city wharf. It can also be translated to mean stairs leading to the water. The Ghats were developed during British colonial rule, and there are other Ghats along the Buriganga, including Wiseghat and Northbrook Holghat. Lying on the Ganges Delta, Bangladesh's capital city Dhaka is bounded by the Buriganga, Turag, Dhaleshwari and Shitalakshya rivers. And though people have lived in this area since the first millennium, Dhaka as we know it began developing around 400 years ago in the early 17th century, when it became a provincial capital and commercial center of the Mughal Empire. It was the hub of the Muslim trade in Bengal and one of the most prosperous cities in the world. And for those 400 years, the Buriganga River has supported the city's development as the primary water supply, drainage outlet, and flood control for the city's inhabitants. Buriganga and the other network of rivers such as Shitalakshya and Turag is one of the reasons why the Mughals chose Dhaka as the capital of Bengal, because it connects Dhaka with the rest of the country easily. The water levels during the high and low tides astonished the Mughals. Today, upstream it has silted up and opens only during floods, but the lower part by Dhaka is open throughout the year as the course is stable here due to the resistant clays. Every day, hundreds of large and small vessels, launches and boats use it, carrying around 30,000 passengers and commercial goods to and from various parts of the country. There are around 23 million people living in Dhaka metropolitan, 10 million in Dhaka city alone, and a large chunk of them still depend on the Buriganga for a living and transport. So many historical landmarks are dotted along it, such as the Ahsan Manzil, Lalbagh Fort, the Armenian Church, and many more. Not to mention the mouth-watering foods of restaurants and cafes in Old Dhaka, and hundreds of families lives in both more tourist shores. I'd come to Sadarghat port once before, but this was the first time for Joinul and Nimon. Both come from two different worlds. Joinul was born and brought up in England, while Imon was born and brought up in the villages of Bangladesh. Seeing their jaw drop and excitement was half the fun for me.
Quite a view on a hot day like this. It's an incredible sight. There you go. এর মধ্যে নৌকোই আমরা করে দিই। Yes, lad. Yeah. আমার জানলাম দিকে আমার
পাখির মতো উড়ে উড়ে join in come on যদি হতো আমি পাখির মতো উড়ে We came back out to the lunch terminal and walked few hundred meters up towards Ahsan Manzil, a pink palace once the home of the Dhaka family, now turned into a museum. On the way, the explosion of activity and sound was truly unique. The narrow roads and overcrowding makes it difficult to maneuver. You have to be sharp and quick. Yes, Liverpool! Yes, Liverpool! Mohamed Salah! Passing by restaurant, mosque and many street vendors, we came to the section near Ahsan Manzil in Wiseghat, where the small wooden dinghies were docked to ferry people and food across the Buriganga Nadi. Dotted along the banks, it was a poetic sight, especially with the floating fruit and vegetable market. While the Buriganga Nadi is deeply polluted and slums either side of it are a depressing sight, this still offers a fascinating glimpse of life on one of the busiest waterways in the world. We wanted to immerse ourselves fully in the experience, so we whizzed down the large steps towards the Noukas. A boat ride from here is vital introduction to the importance of Buriganga for social, economic and cultural life of the city. From far, the boatman will call you mama and ask you to use them. But mama doesn't mean you're their mother or maternal uncle. In some regions of Bangladesh, they use the term mama to refer to a dear brother. It's an endearing quality. Also, the boats wait in serial system, like the taxi ranks in UK. So use the next available one, unless you got a valid reason not to. Don't be arrogant or disrespectful and demand to go with the boatman of your choice, as this provokes arguments amongst everyone. Especially not fair on the boatman who's been waiting in the front of the queue. Show some respect to him. But always negotiate the fare before getting on. From my experience, they are fairly honest and reasonable people. We paid 100 Dhaka for a return trip across the river.
আপনি বলেন কত একটু দিন আমরা রেকর্ড করতে দিই মাত্র না দিয়ে আমরা কিনবো ভাই কে মাছকে বইতে কি মাছ এই মাছকে বইতে আপনি বইতে sit down বসেন আপনার এই যাইবো বরাবর
ইয়েস জয়নুল লাড কি নাম আপনার
মোহাম্মদ মেহেদী হাসান
মেহেদী হাসান জুড়ে বলে মেহেদী হাসান
মোহাম্মদ মেহেদী হাসান
ওকে নায়ক ক্রিকেটার আর কিছু দেশের বাড়ি কোথায় ভাইয়া বরিশাল তো এইখানে কত বছর ধরে কাম করছেন
এই যে 2 বছর ধরে
কেমন লাগে
ভালো আলহামদুলিল্লাহ
ভালো লাগে হ্যাঁ এখানে পানি অত খারাপ কি পানি অত খারাপ কি কেন পানি
দুই সাইডের ময়লা নামে লেগে একটু বেশি পানি তো আবার ওই শীতের দিনে একটু পানি ময়লা হয়
আচ্ছা
আবার গরমের দিনে
আপনি সপ্তাহের মধ্যে কতদিন কাম করেন
হ্যাঁ
প্রতিদিন কাম করেন কোন সময় আরম্ভ করেন
আমি
ওটা হয়তো
নামাজ পড়ে আহি
জোহরের নামাজ
পড়ে আহি
ফজরের নামাজ আচ্ছা
তারপরে আমি রাত 8:30 9টা 10টা এর ভিতরে আর কি বন্ধ করে যাই
আচ্ছা তো ডেইলি কত হয় কোথায় কত পান
ডেইলি আলাই দিলে যাই আপনি 1000 এর উপরে হয়
1000 উপরে আচ্ছা মাশাআল্লাহ পরিবার আপনার কয় থাকেন বরিশাল এখানে
না
এইখানে আচ্ছা তারাও কাম করেন তারা কিছু করেন না
না তারা কাম করে না
যে আপনার জন্য আমরা কি করতে পারবো যেমন আমরা সরকারের ক্ষেত্রে কি করতে পারবো আপনার যে আপনার জীবনটা আরো বেশি ভালো হতো আমরা কি করতে পারবো সরকারের কোনো কিছু চান সরকারের ক্ষেত্রে কিছু চান আপনি
না সরকারের কাছে আমি কিছু পাই না আর
কিছু চাই না
সরকারের কাছে কিছু আমরা কিছু চাইলেও আমরা কিছু পাবো না
কিছু পাবেন না
কিছু চাইলে লাভ নাই
সত্যি বলছেন না চলে যান চলে যান, শেষ শেষ না 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 শেষ 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 ভাই না না ভাই শেষ শেষ ভাইয়া শেষ 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 আমরা শুধু এই মাত্র এই চাই এই বন্ধু ও ইমন নাইস সুন্দর একটা ফটো
সব বিল্ডিং লন সেটি লুয়ে লন
জি জি সব 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 নিচে লোক আপলা
Since the country's independence in 1971, Dhaka has expanded towards the north due to the heavy population pressure on the edge of the river down south. Sadly, today the Buriganga Nodi is incredibly polluted and has been for the last 30 years. It's the most polluted river in the country and is on the cusp of being biologically dead. There was once a lot of fishes and locals would catch them, eat some and make a living by selling others. People used to bathe in Buriganga regularly. Hard to think of it now when you look at the pitch black, murky and smelly water. Bangladesh is the second biggest garment exporter in the world after China. But the booming industry is also one of the reasons behind the downfall of Buriganga. Garment factories and tanneries, especially in Hazaribagh area, are the main culprits. Untreated sewage, byproducts of fabric dyeing, and other chemical waste from nearby mills and factories flow in Buriganga daily. Polythene and plastic, hazardous substances from demolished buildings, and human waste are other common contributors to the river's downfall. And though in 1995 the government of Bangladesh made it compulsory for all industrial units to use effluent treatment plants to keep pollution out of the rivers, the industries often flout the rule. Government officials make regular checks, but they lack the staff to monitor it round the clock. People who bathe in the river often suffer from scabies on their skin, and sometimes their eyes itch and burn and go red. In the dry season, the river's oxygen level becomes very low and the river becomes toxic. There is no fish or aquatic life during dry season, and the Buriganga has become biologically dead. Efforts are being made to restore this once fresh and mighty river to its glorious days. Greater government initiative, along with community-driven projects and organizations such as the Buriganga Riverkeeper, are working with this aim.
লোন লেব না ভাইয়া সব কিছু লেব দেখি ইমন কোপাই দে
হাত দিবেন না কিনারে মনের ভুলেও না কিনারে হাত দিবেন না কাকা কাকা
আরে রে 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 ও লাগি গেছে না এই দেখিস 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 দেখিস
বাইরন 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 ভাই
এবার দেবে 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 আমি থাকি ayo 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 quick come this way give me the hand wow was that like come here lad come here what do you think come here feedback
That was absolutely unreal. Loved it, enjoyed it. Nice view of the water.
would you recommend it for all the youngsters out there as well
Absolutely, yeah, I would recommend it totally.
so we went to the middle and came back for 100 taka the guy did say he will show us around a bit more for 200 taka but that's enough it's sensational it's crazy seeing it from there is something else.
If you had a good time, don't forget to tip the boatman. They work tirelessly under the scorching sun to make a living for their family and extended members. Your few extra takas can make a difference to their lives. Be generous while tipping. The crowd of workers, fishermen, and tourists make a visit to the port a chaotic and at times challenging experience, but one which is worthwhile for unique insight it offers into the city life. Competition for tourists amongst the ferrymen is fierce, but once you are on one of the traditional small vessels, the calm of the river offers instant relief.
তরমুজে পরে আসিল একবার তরমুজের দোকানে ওখানে পরে আসিল ফার্স্ট থিং in the morning ই আস্তা তরমুজে খেতে চলতে পরে থাকে মানুষের বিড়ে খালা আটা দেয় না বেরি
আমি তো নিতাম নিয়ে একটু বলবেন আপনি
something else.
Dhaka city has grown along the north bank of the Buriganga Nodi for the last 400 years. 4 million people out of the 23 million plus people that live in Dhaka's metropolitan area directly depend on the water of the Buriganga. Yet the waste generated by the city and the surrounding areas in the last 30 years has turned the Buriganga into one of the most polluted and unhealthy rivers in the world. So the question is, what are we sacrificing in the name of development? We Bengalis home and abroad need to make the Buriganga and other rivers around the country fishable, swimmable and drinkable. If we can do that, inshallah, it will be a victory for our people and an example for the rest of the planet. When you come to Puran, Dhaka, it's like you've stepped back in time. The old dilapidated buildings, deafening pandemonium, the rawness of activities, the overcrowding, the smell. Puran Dhaka has a charm of its own. It's a relentless attack on your senses. It's intense and not for everyone. If you're picky and sensitive and love the high life, stay away from here. The hustle will be too much. But if you love adventure, history, experiencing new way of life, and are willing to overlook the obvious flaws, you'll love Puran Dhaka. Iman, Joynul, and I certainly did. The manic pace was absolutely thrilling, and we cannot wait to come back here once again, inshallah. Until then, take care.